here's why everything you know about the food system is actually wrong. Hi, my name is Nate. I am a regenerative farmer in Oklahoma. We raise 5 species of livestock over 300 acres, and I want to tell you a little bit about the food system and why you need to be careful what you're buying. Back in 2016, we started farming, and prior to that, I had no experience farming, never stepped foot on a farm, and I bought groceries based on price, taste, and convenience. Over the years, the food system has kind of been rattled, whether that's through COVID or egg shortage last year, and now we're getting diarrhea from lettuce, and everyone's starting to figure out that all this lettuce that's coming from Taco Bell is the same lettuce at Walmart, which is the same lettuce at Whole Foods, just all packaged differently. It's all Taylor Farms or whatever. It's the same thing with chicken. People are slowly figuring out that, like, oh, Whole Foods chicken is the same as Walmart chicken, which is just Tyson chicken. It's just repackaged under various different brands. Cream cheese is the same way. There's like one huge cream cheese factory in this country that supplies 90% of the cream cheese to all the different brands, so that you have a choice at the grocery store. Nobody wants to go to the grocery store and have Philadelphia cream cheese and Philadelphia chicken and Philadelphia lettuce and Philadelphia pizza and Philadelphia pot stickers, right? We all want to be able to go and look at 3 to 5, 10 different brands of something and choose. It's why there's not like the American Standard Egg or the Oklahoma Egg Company or whatever, and that's all you have available in Oklahoma. It's all you have available at your local grocery store, wherever you are. We want 7, 12, 15 different brands of eggs so that we can look through those eggs and decide which one is best for us, our budget, our family, our dietary needs, etc. The truth is that we as Americans don't understand the scale of the food system. Let me give you a little perspective. So here in Oklahoma, 380 million chickens were raised for consumption. Not just for Oklahoma consumption, but that's just how many birds were raised here in the state, right? Almost all of those, really all of those birds were raised entirely in confinement, never seen a blade of grass, never seen sunshine. These are factory farmed birds, right? Well, we raise chickens on pasture, right? We raised 16,000 birds last year. We are the largest in the state in terms of pasture raised chicken. 388 million were raised in the state. We raised 16,000 of those. We are the largest in the state. To give you an idea, that means that less than 1% of 1% of all of the chicken raised in Oklahoma is raised even remotely outside. And yet the consumer thinks that if they go to Whole Foods or Sprouts or Aikens or whatever, right? You get the picture, that you are going to be able to find your organic free range, whatever that means, or you're going to be able to find the alternative to these factory farm chickens. And the truth is, for the most part, you're not. I remember a couple of years ago when Tyson Foods walked back their no antibiotics ever pledge and just said, hey, that wasn't sustainable. We're not going to do that anymore. Bottom line, they didn't want to have to be accountable to that. I can get into that in another video. So they walked that back and said, all right, hey, we're not going to do our no antibiotics ever thing. We're going to only do antibiotics that are not negatively affecting humans or something. I can't remember the verbiage. And then within a few weeks, Chick-fil-A comes out and walks back their no antibiotics ever claim. And then everybody's up in arms. It's like when Tyson Foods did it, people were like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Then Chick-fil-A did it, which is, there's a cult following. There's people that go there every week to feed their kids, and that's like the #1 snack, whatever. They walked their claim back. And you go to their Instagram when they did this, and it's just blowing up with these comments that are like, no, Chick-fil-A, please don't put antibiotics in your chickens. We don't want that. That's the reason I bring my family, right? You get it. What people weren't putting together was that Tyson walked back, and so Chick-fil-A had to walk back. And then finally you see some people that are like, wait a minute. Does Chick-fil-A just buy chicken from Tyson? Yes. Like all of the brands do. And I'm going to say all I'm painting with a broad brush here, so bear with me, but all of the brands do this, right? So if it's a health food brand or whatever, like any brand out there, is going to be tempted when they get big enough to start finding a source for chicken or lettuce or beef or whatever that is cheaper and more readily available than what they're currently sourcing. And I saw this happen with Whole Foods way back in the day. They were sourcing from a great farm, White Oak Pasture, and Will Harris. They were selling them a ton of grass-fed beef, responsibly raised grass-fed beef out of Bluffton, Georgia. And then Whole Foods started walking back and being like, well, we're getting some beef from Paraguay or Uruguay or what have you. And they started backing off the orders from White Oak to the point where White Oak just pulled out and said, hey, the insurance that you require us to carry is not worth it anymore. And so we're not going to sell grass-fed beef to Whole Foods. And you can look that up and read all about, listen to Will Harris on Joe Rogan, and he talks about that whole scenario. So the point of this video is to remind you, in light of this lettuce deal that we were just dealing with, to remind you guys that if you're sourcing from a huge national grocery chain, I don't care what grocery chain it is, if it's a huge national grocery chain, you have to understand that almost everything is the same across all of the grocery chains. All the food may be different labels. You may have 6 different labels of chicken at your local grocery store, and they just buy that chicken in from Tyson or Purdue or whatever, one of the big companies. They buy that chicken in, slap their own label on it, and they call it Nature's Best or Friendly Happy Farmer something. And they package it in brown and green, and you buy it. And you buy it for 60% more than you would pay for, run-of-the-mill chicken. I mean, your favorite steakhouse, with few exception, probably sources Tyson chicken, and they put it on their menu for $31 for a half chicken. And your favorite breakfast place, they probably source eggs from Hanson Brook or Calmaine Foods or whatever, and they put those eggs on the menu as free-range eggs, which means basically nothing. You guys have to be careful what you're buying. And if you've got questions and you're really concerned and you actually care a lot about this type of stuff, reach out to your local farmer. Find a farmer in your area. Reach directly out to your local farmers market director. Look up, if you live in Boston, look up the Boston Farmers Market. Find the director of the farmers market, call them and say, hey, I'm looking for farms to source from, and they will put you in contact with dozens of them because they know all the farmers. Reach out to farmers, get something, build a relationship, buy their stuff, and then you will actually know where your stuff is coming from. But stop trusting the grocery stores.